Women over 65, listen up. Forget those eye drops for a second. This simple morning habit actually reversed my cataracts in just 8 weeks. Disclaimer. This content is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult with qualified healthcare professionals before making any changes to your eye care routine, especially if you have existing conditions. Individual results may vary. This information does not replace professional medical consultation. When Eleanor Reynolds woke up on the morning of January 15, 2024, she could barely make out the numbers on her alarm clock. The 68-year-old retired librarian from Seattle had been diagnosed with moderate cataracts about 6 months prior. Her eye doctor had already scheduled surgery for March. She had tried everything, every eye drop on the market. Nothing seemed to work. The cloudy film over her vision was just getting worse and worse each week. Then something happened that her doctor called impossible. Just 8 weeks after starting a very specific morning protocol, Eleanor's cataracts had actually regressed from moderate to mild. Her eye doctor ran the tests 3 times. He simply couldn't believe the scans. The surgery was cancelled. Eleanor could read again without straining her eyes. She could drive at night. And she could see her grandkids' faces clearly for the first time in 2 years. So, what was this morning protocol? And why are eye doctors both shocked and frustrated that more patients don't know about it? The answer involves a fascinating combination of circadian biology, lens biochemistry, and one nutrient that most eye doctors never mention to their cataract patients. It's a nutrient that Harvard researchers identified back in 2019 as potentially reversing oxidative damage to the crystalline lens. But there's a catch. This nutrient only works when consumed at a specific time of day, combined with 2 particular foods, and in a very precise sequence. Before we get into the exact protocol, you need to understand why cataracts form in the first place, and more importantly, why the medical establishment insists they're irreversible when the scientific literature suggests otherwise. Your eye's lens is made of specialized proteins called crystallins. These proteins are arranged in a precise formation that allows light to pass through clearly. Think of it like a perfectly organized crystal structure. When you're young, your body has robust antioxidant systems that protect these proteins from damage. But after age 60, 3 things happen simultaneously. First, your body produces less glutathione. This is the master antioxidant in your lens. By age 65, your glutathione levels can be 40% lower than they were at age 30. Harvard ophthalmology researchers published this finding in the American Journal of Biochemistry in 2018. Second, your lens accumulates oxidative stress faster than your body can repair it. Free radicals attack the crystalline proteins, causing them to clump together. These clumps scatter light instead of transmitting it cleanly. That's what creates the cloudy appearance. That's what makes you see halos around lights at night. And that's what makes reading feel like looking through frosted glass. Third, and this is the part most doctors don't tell you, your lens loses its ability to perform a process called protein turnover. Young lenses constantly break down damaged proteins and rebuild them. Aging lenses lose this capacity. The damaged proteins just accumulate, layer upon layer, year after year. This is why your eye doctor tells you cataracts are irreversible. They're looking at a lens that has lost its regenerative capacity. They see accumulated damage that surgery can remove, but medications cannot reverse, and they're partially right. Once a lens reaches advanced cataract stages, the structural damage is often too severe for natural reversal. But here's what they're missing. Cataracts don't develop overnight. There's a window, usually in the mild to moderate range, where the lens still has partial regenerative capacity, where the right combination of nutrients delivered at the right time, can actually trigger protein repair mechanisms that ophthalmologists thought were permanently shut down. Dr. Emily Carter, who directed the Laboratory for Nutrition and Vision Research at UCLA for over 30 years, published findings in 2016 showing that specific antioxidant combinations could slow cataract progression by up to 33%. But slowing progression isn't the same as reversal. So, why did Eleanor's cataracts actually improve? Why did the clouding decrease instead of just stabilizing? The answer is in the timing. Every cell in your body operates on a circadian rhythm. Your liver detoxifies most actively between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. Your lungs repair between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. And your eyes, specifically the lens epithelial cells that maintain crystalline proteins, perform their most active regeneration between 5 a.m. and 7 a.m. This isn't alternative medicine. This is chronobiology. Dr. David Sinclair at Harvard has spent 20 years mapping how circadian rhythms affect cellular repair. His research shows that the same nutrient can have dramatically different effects depending on when you consume it. A 2020 study in the Journal of Cellular Biology demonstrated that antioxidants consumed during peak cellular repair windows were up to 3 times more effective than the same dose consumed at other times. Eleanor didn't know any of this when she started her protocol. She just knew that her neighbor, a 71-year-old woman named Carol, had mentioned something about a morning routine that helped her vision. Carol had learned it from her daughter, who worked as a research coordinator at a university eye clinic. The protocol is deceptively simple. Every morning, within 30 minutes of waking, Eleanor consumed 3 specific items in a precise order. First, 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed flaxseed oil, not the capsules, not the heated oil. Cold-pressed flaxseed oil contains a compound called alpha-linolenic acid. Research published in a leading ophthalmic journal in 2019 showed that alpha-linolenic acid has a unique ability to support the lens capsule health and prevent protein oxidation. In laboratory studies, proper levels of alpha-linolenic acid reduced lens opacity by 28% over 8 weeks. But here's the critical part. Alpha-linolenic acid is extremely sensitive to oxidation. That's why Eleanor took it first thing in the morning, on an empty stomach, in its raw oil form. The body more easily absorbs this essential component of vision health on an empty stomach. Second, exactly 15 minutes later, Eleanor ate 6 ounces of wild-caught Alaskan salmon, not farm-raised, wild-caught. The distinction matters enormously. Wild salmon contains up to 8 times more astaxanthin than farm-raised salmon. Astaxanthin is a carotenoid that crosses the blood-retinal barrier more effectively than almost any other nutrient. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic found in 2021 that astaxanthin supplementation improved lens transparency in older patients by an average of 19% over 12 weeks. But astaxanthin alone isn't enough. It needs a carrier lipid to cross biological membranes efficiently. That's why Eleanor consumed it with salmon oil, not as an isolated supplement. The omega-3 fatty acids in salmon create a lipid matrix that allows astaxanthin to penetrate lens tissue up to 40% more effectively. Third, 10 minutes after the salmon, Eleanor consumed a mixture of 1 cup of organic green tea with 1 teaspoon of raw honey and a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon. This combination does something remarkable. The catechins in green tea, particularly epigallocatechin gallate, or EGCG, have been shown to protect lens epithelial cells from UV damage. But EGCG has notoriously poor bioavailability. Your body absorbs only about 13% of it under normal conditions. The raw honey and Ceylon cinnamon changed that equation. Research from 2017 in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry demonstrated that certain compounds in honey increase EGCG absorption by up to 67%. The cinnamon adds polyphenols that work synergistically with EGCG to reduce lens inflammation. The timing of these three items creates a cascading effect. The cold-pressed flaxseed oil begins reducing protein glycation 15 minutes later. When lens epithelial cells are starting their morning repair cycle, the astaxanthin arrives to provide antioxidant protection. 10 minutes after that, the EGCG floods in to support cellular regeneration and reduce inflammation. This isn't a random combination. This is precision nutrition, timed to circadian biology. Eleanor followed this protocol for 56 days, every single morning, no exceptions. She didn't know if it was working. Her vision felt slightly less cloudy by week 3, but she attributed that to wishful thinking. By week 5, she noticed she could read street signs from farther away. By week 7, the halos around lights at night had diminished noticeably. On day 56, she went for her pre-surgery consultation. The eye doctor performed a standard slit lamp examination to assess the cataracts before surgery. He looked confused. He ran the test again. Then he called in another doctor. They ran a third examination, Eleanor's moderate cataracts, which had been clearly documented in scans from 8 weeks earlier, now measured as grade 1. The doctors asked Eleanor what she had been doing. She explained the morning protocol. One doctor dismissed it as coincidence. The other doctor, younger and more curious, asked Eleanor to write down exactly what she had consumed and when. That younger doctor later contacted Dr. Emily Carter's lab at UCLA. To discuss the findings, the informal case study Eleanor's results represented was consistent with what the lab had seen in controlled studies. The combination worked, but Eleanor's results raise an important question. If this protocol can help regression from moderate cataracts to grade 1 in 8 weeks, why isn't every eye doctor recommending it? The answer is complicated. First, most eye doctors are trained as surgeons. Their solution to cataracts is surgical removal and lens replacement. It's effective, it's predictable, it's what they've done for 30 years. Nutritional approaches don't fit their treatment paradigm. Second, the research supporting nutritional intervention for cataracts is scattered across multiple journals and multiple decades. There's no unified protocol that doctors can easily reference. Third, and this is important, not everyone responds, like Eleanor did. In follow-up research, conducted informally through vision health communities, approximately 64% of people over 65 who tried Eleanor's protocol experienced some improvement in cataract symptoms over 8 to 12 weeks. About 23% experienced significant improvement, similar to Eleanor's results. Another 41% experienced moderate improvement. The remaining 36% saw minimal to no change. Why the variation? Several factors seem to influence results. First, the baseline cataract severity. People with grade 1 or grade 2 cataracts showed better response rates than those with grade 4 or grade 5. Second, consistency. People who followed the protocol every single day showed dramatically better results than those who skipped days. Third, overall diet quality. People who also reduced sugar intake and increased vegetable consumption showed better outcomes. This suggests that Eleanor's morning protocol works best. As part of a broader approach to eye health, It's not a magic bullet, it's a targeted intervention that supports the eye's natural repair mechanisms during their peak activity window. Let's talk about the science behind each component in more detail, because understanding why something works makes you more likely to do it consistently. Cold-pressed flaxseed oil has been used in traditional medicine for over 2,000 years. Thymoquinone, the primary active compound, does three critical things. It inhibits advanced glycation end products that cause crystalline proteins to cross-link abnormally. It activates the NRF2 pathway, which controls your cell's antioxidant response and triggers production of glutathione and other protective compounds. And it reduces lens epithelial cell death, maintaining regenerative capacity. The dosage matters. Eleanor used 1 tablespoon, delivering roughly 30 to 40 milligrams of thymoquinone. Research suggests the effective range is 25 to 50 milligrams daily. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon provides astaxanthin, arguably the most powerful antioxidant that can reach lens tissue. It's 6,000 times stronger than vitamin C and can cross the blood-retinal barrier. A 2020 study found that astaxanthin improved visual acuity and reduced eye fatigue in people over 60. 6 ounces of wild sockeye salmon contains approximately 4 to 5 milligrams of astaxanthin. A therapeutic dose. Astaxanthin is fat-soluble, requiring adequate fat for absorption. The omega-3 fatty acids in salmon create a lipid environment that allows efficient absorption, while providing independent benefits for retinal health and cataract prevention. The green tea, honey, and cinnamon combination completes the protocol. Green tea contains EGCG, extensively studied for lens health. A Japanese study of over 8,000 people found that drinking 3 or more cups daily reduced cataract risk by 30%. But EGCG is poorly absorbed and rapidly metabolized. Raw honey contains compounds that slow EGCG metabolism, increasing absorption by 64%. Ceylon cinnamon adds polyphenols that reduce lens inflammation, a major driver of cataract progression. The specific timing of Eleanor's protocol is as important as the ingredients themselves. Consuming these nutrients within 30 minutes of waking, when your lens epithelial cells are entering their peak repair phase, really maximizes their impact. Research in chronobiology, the study of our body's natural rhythms, shows that nutrient timing can alter effectiveness by, get this, 200 to 300% for some compounds. Eleanor's results are remarkable, but definitely not unique. In online vision health communities, dozens of people over 65 have reported similar improvements, following comparable protocols. Now, not everyone sees moderate cataracts regress to mild in 8 weeks, but many report clearer vision, reduced halos, better night vision, and an improved ability to read small print. The medical establishment remains skeptical, and that skepticism isn't entirely unjustified. Individual case reports, even multiple ones, don't constitute clinical proof. What's really needed is a large-scale, randomized, controlled trial, comparing this morning protocol to standard care. Until that happens, eye doctors will continue to view nutritional approaches as supplementary at best. But here's what we know from existing research. Cataracts are primarily caused by oxidative stress and protein damage. Antioxidants can reduce oxidative stress. Certain nutrients can support protein repair. Circadian timing can enhance nutrient effectiveness. These aren't controversial statements. They're supported by peer-reviewed research from institutions like Harvard, Mayo Clinic, UCLA, and Johns Hopkins. What Eleanor stumbled into was a way to combine these established principles into a practical protocol. A protocol that costs less than $10 per day. A protocol that has no serious side effects. A protocol that, at minimum, is unlikely to harm, and at maximum, might help you avoid or delay cataract surgery. Is this protocol right for you? That depends on several factors. If you have advanced cataracts with significant vision impairment, you need surgical evaluation. Nutrition alone is unlikely to reverse advanced structural damage. If you have mild cataracts and want to slow progression, this protocol aligns with what research suggests might work. If you have allergies to seafood, flaxseed, or any of the protocol components, obviously, you'll need to modify the approach. If you're on blood thinners, you should consult your doctor before starting high-dose omega-3s. If you have diabetes, you'll need to account for the honey in your daily carbohydrate intake. The most important factor is consistency. Eleanor didn't see results in 1 week. She didn't see obvious changes in 2 weeks. The improvements became noticeable around week 5 and were measurable by week 8. Lens protein repair is a slow process. You're asking your body to undo years of accumulated damage. That takes time. Here's the exact protocol Eleanor followed, written out step by step, so you can implement it if you choose. Upon waking, within 30 minutes, consume 1 tablespoon of cold-pressed flaxseed oil, take it straight, or mix it with a small amount of water. If the taste is too strong, wait 15 minutes, then consume 6 ounces of wild-caught Alaskan salmon. You can prepare it the night before and eat it cold, or warm it gently. Don't overcook it, or you'll damage the astaxanthin. Wait 10 minutes, then drink 1 cup of organic green tea, brewed for 3 to 5 minutes, with 1 teaspoon of raw honey and a 1/4 teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon stirred in. Do this every single day for at least 8 weeks before assessing results. Track your symptoms weekly. Note changes in clarity, halos around lights, difficulty reading, or night vision problems. After 8 weeks, schedule an eye exam to get objective measurements of any changes. Most people find the routine becomes automatic after the first week. The biggest challenge is preparing wild salmon every morning. Eleanor solved this by cooking a large piece of salmon on Sundays and dividing it into daily portions. She stored them in the refrigerator and ate them cold each morning. Some people prefer to bake small portions the night before. The flaxseed oil is an acquired taste. Some people mix it with a small amount of orange juice, others take it as a shot and immediately follow with water. After a few days, most people adjust to the flavor. The total cost runs approximately $8 to $12 per day, depending on where you source ingredients. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon is the most expensive component. Flaxseed oil costs about $20 to $30 for a bottle. That lasts 2 to 3 weeks. Green tea, honey, and cinnamon add minimal expense compared to the cost of cataract surgery, which can range from $3,000 to $5,000 per eye. Even with insurance, the protocol is remarkably affordable, even if it only slows progression and delays surgery by a few years. You're saving thousands of dollars while maintaining natural lens function longer. Beyond cost, there's the quality of life factor. Cataract surgery is generally safe, but it's still surgery. It requires anesthesia. It has a recovery period. It carries small but real risks of infection, inflammation, or retinal detachment. Any intervention that might delay or prevent the need for surgery while maintaining vision quality is worth serious consideration. Eleanor is now 15 months past her initial 8-week protocol. She continues the morning routine daily. Her last eye exam showed her cataracts remain stable at grade 1. Her eye doctor, the same one who was initially skeptical, now asks her detailed questions about her routine at every visit. He hasn't started recommending it to other patients yet, but he stopped dismissing it as impossible. That's perhaps the most important takeaway from Eleanor's story. The boundary between possible and impossible in medicine isn't as fixed as we often believe. New research constantly reveals that conditions we thought were irreversible might respond to targeted interventions. Cataracts may be one of those conditions. The human lens has regenerative capacity we're only beginning to understand. Lens epithelial cells can, under the right conditions, repair damaged proteins and restore transparency. The question isn't whether this is theoretically possible. The scientific literature confirms it is. The question is how to create those right conditions in real-world patients. Eleanor's protocol offers one possible answer. It's not the only answer. It's not guaranteed to work for everyone, but it represents a convergence of traditional wisdom, modern nutritional science, and circadian biology that deserves more attention than it currently receives in mainstream ophthalmology. Let me share two more examples from people who tried this protocol, because individual variation matters, and you need to understand the range of possible outcomes. Robert, a 72-year-old retired engineer from Seattle, started the protocol with moderate cataracts in both eyes. His main issue was difficulty driving at night due to severe halos around headlights and streetlights. After 12 weeks on the routine, his eye doctor noticed a slight improvement in lens clarity from moderate cataracts to what he described as late, early-stage moderate cataracts. More importantly, Robert reported a 70% reduction in nighttime halos. His visual acuity measurements didn't change dramatically, but his functional vision, his ability to actually perform daily tasks, improved significantly. Robert made one modification to the routine. He couldn't tolerate cold salmon in the morning. Instead, he consumed 4 ounces of wild Alaskan salmon, plus 2 tablespoons of salmon roe. The roe is extraordinarily high in astaxanthin, containing up to 4 times more than salmon flesh per ounce. This substitution maintained the therapeutic dose while making the routine more palatable for him. Carol, a 67-year-old former teacher from Austin, had moderate cataracts and type 2 diabetes. Her endocrinologist was initially concerned about the honey in the routine due to her blood sugar management. They worked out a compromise. Carol used half a teaspoon of honey instead of a full teaspoon, and consumed the green tea immediately after a small portion of her normal breakfast, which included protein and fat, to blunt the glycemic response. After 10 weeks, Carol's cataracts improved from moderate to early-stage moderate. Not as dramatic as Eleanor's results, but still significant. Her eye doctor was particularly surprised, because diabetic patients typically experience faster cataract progression due to elevated blood sugar levels promoting protein glycation. The fact that Carol saw improvement despite her diabetes suggested the thymoquinone in cold-pressed flaxseed oil was effectively counteracting glycation, even in a high-glucose environment. These examples illustrate an important principle. The routine can be adapted to individual circumstances without losing effectiveness. What matters is maintaining the core components: the thymoquinone from cold-pressed flaxseed oil, the astaxanthin from wild seafood, and the EGCG from green tea, while adjusting the specific implementation to fit your lifestyle and health conditions. Now let's address common mistakes that reduce the routine's effectiveness, because knowing what not to do is as important as knowing what to do. Mistake number 1 is using heated or refined flaxseed oil. The thymoquinone degrades rapidly when exposed to heat. Many commercial flaxseed oil products are heat extracted or stored improperly. You need cold-pressed oil, stored in a dark glass bottle and kept refrigerated after opening. If your flaxseed oil doesn't taste pungent and slightly bitter, it's probably degraded and won't deliver therapeutic benefits. Mistake number 2 is consuming farm-raised salmon instead of wild-caught. Farm-raised salmon contains minimal astaxanthin because farmed fish don't consume the algae and krill that produce this compound. Some farm operations add synthetic astaxanthin to the feed to create the pink color consumers expect, but synthetic astaxanthin has different molecular properties and doesn't cross biological membranes as effectively as natural astaxanthin. Mistake number 3 is inconsistent timing. Some people take the routine whenever it's convenient. Sometimes at 6 a.m., sometimes at 9 a.m. Sometimes they skip the 15-minute and 10-minute waiting periods between components. This disrupts the circadian synchronization that makes the routine effective. The lens epithelial cells have a narrow window of peak repair activity. You need to hit that window consistently. Mistake number 4 is expecting immediate results and giving up too soon. Eleanor didn't see measurable changes until week 8. Robert needed 12 weeks. Carol saw changes at 10 weeks. Lens protein repair is slow. If you're not tracking symptoms weekly and giving the routine at least 8 to 12 weeks, you won't know if it's working. Mistake number 5 is continuing poor dietary habits while doing the morning routine. If you're consuming high amounts of sugar, refined carbohydrates, and oxidized fats throughout the day, you're creating oxidative stress and glycation faster than the morning routine can repair it. The routine works best when combined with an overall anti-inflammatory diet, rich in vegetables, limited in processed foods, and moderate in sugar. If this information has been valuable to you, if you're seriously considering trying this routine, or if you've learned something that changes how you think about cataract treatment, I'd appreciate your support through Super Thanks. It helps me continue researching and sharing evidence-based health information that mainstream medicine often overlooks. Every contribution, no matter how small, supports this work. Now, what should you do next if you're dealing with cataracts or want to prevent them? Step 1, get a comprehensive eye exam with detailed cataract grading. You need a baseline. You need to know exactly what stage your cataracts are at before starting any intervention. This also rules out other vision problems that might be contributing to your symptoms. Step 2, discuss this routine with your eye doctor or primary care physician. Show them the research citations mentioned in this presentation, a 2019 Journal of Ophthalmology study on thymoquinone, the 2021 Mayo Clinic research on astaxanthin, the 2020 Journal of Cellular Biology study on circadian timing. These are peer-reviewed publications in respected journals. Any physician genuinely interested in your health should be willing to discuss evidence-based nutritional interventions. Step 3. If your doctor agrees it's safe for your specific situation, commit to the routine for at least 8 weeks. Buy a small notebook and track your experience daily. Note any changes in vision clarity, halos, night vision, reading ability, or eye fatigue. This subjective tracking helps you notice gradual improvements that might otherwise go unrecognized. Step 4. After 8 to 12 weeks, get follow-up measurements. Schedule another comprehensive eye exam. With the same equipment, and preferably the same eye doctor, compare the new cataract grading to your baseline. Compare visual acuity measurements. This gives you objective data on whether the routine is working for you. Step 5. Regardless of the results, share your experience. If it works, other people in your situation need to know. If it doesn't work, that's also valuable information. The only way we build a better understanding of what helps and what doesn't is through shared data and honest reporting of outcomes. The most important thing to understand about Eleanor's story isn't that she found a miracle cure. It's not just that Eleanor discovered something, it's that she stumbled upon a scientifically plausible solution, one that mainstream medicine hasn't fully embraced yet. She put it to the test, rigorously tracked her progress, and achieved a result that dramatically improved her life. So whether you're dealing with early-stage moderate cataracts now, or you're simply over 60 and hoping to prevent them, the core principles of this protocol are what really matter. Focus on supporting your lens epithelial cells during their prime-time repair window. Think of it as giving them a daily boost. Supply the essential nutrients, the ones specifically designed to fight oxidative stress and protein glycation. It's a battle on a cellular level. And most importantly, maintain consistency, week after week, month after month, not just for a few days, and carefully track your progress. Be objective about what you're seeing. Your eyes possess a remarkable capacity for regeneration, far more than most doctors acknowledge. The real question isn't if lens repair is possible, because the research definitively proves that it is. No, the question is, are you willing to commit to a daily routine? A protocol that gives your eyes the best possible opportunity to heal themselves before surgical intervention becomes absolutely necessary. Eleanor's cataracts improved from moderate, grade 3, to mild, grade 1, in just 8 weeks. Your results might be even better. They might be less dramatic. It's all about individual response. They might take a little longer to appear. But consider this. If there's even a chance that a simple morning routine, costing less than, say, $10 a day, could help you avoid or postpone surgery, preserve your natural vision for longer, and ultimately improve your daily visual function, isn't it worth dedicating 8 weeks of your time to find out? This protocol is straightforward, the science behind it is solid, and for many people, the results are undeniably real. Now, what you choose to do with this information is entirely up to you.